Hi guys, what you're about to see isn't exactly what I hoped that it would be. The trip in the van didn't quite pan out as I hoped it would. We very quickly came to the conclusion that sleeping in the back of a van in your 20s and 30s is a way better idea than trying to do it when you're in your 50s. So it didn't really suit, but we had a good time. We did cut the trip a good bit shorter than we intended it to be, and we had a couple of little hiccups along the way, but I still wanted to put it up and show you because you'll get to see some of the lovely southwest coast, and I'm sure you'll still enjoy it. So stick with us and see what you think. Good morning YouTube, and welcome back to Handlebars and Holidays. This is quite an interesting one. We are just about to embark on a trip down south. This is something we haven't really done before in this way. A lot of the places that we'll be going we have been to before, but my work van is, let me flip this round, it's a Volkswagen Multivan. We've just taken all the tools out of it, and as you can see there, it's a 7-seater, and the seats all fold down into a nice big double bed. We've never used the van in this respect, but we've decided to have a holiday, and we're going to do some B&Bs, we're going to do some motels, but we will probably, well, we're aiming to spend as much time as we can in the van and just see how that goes. We're trying to keep the price down, we're trying to keep it a sort of a budget holiday. We don't tend to do budget too well, so it will be very interesting to see how this pans out. It'll either be wonderful or could well be a complete disaster. So if you'd like to join us, you would be very welcome. As I say, it's all going to be a learning curve. We've not booked anything. We're just going to set off shortly after Easter. That's in about 4 days time, and see where we end up, see what happens. I would like to think that I'll be able to film a fair bit of it. Whether I'll be able to upload things as we go, I'm not entirely sure, so I don't know just when you'll be seeing this. But yeah, it should be interesting. So I've got to just make a few more adaptations to the van, a little bit of pondering. Angie's made some curtains for in the back and the front. I've got to do a little bit more filling in at the side here. I've made some covers for these windows. I've got a couple more to make, but just at the moment I think I'll finish my cup of tea and do a little bit more thinking about it, and we'll just play it all by ear. So yeah, bear with us and come along for the ride. Should be a giggle. Okay, so that's just there representing the thickness of that one we saw at Bunnings. So first, an immediate problem: fridge won't go in. During the day, don't we?
But during the day you won't have that back. You'll have the seat up.
Yes. Yeah. So that can go. How far is that mattress going to be overhanging? How far? I'm assuming it's night time because we're going to sleep.
During the day?
No. When you want to go to sleep. Right. Let's get the mattress down and put the mattress on here and pretend it's the middle of the vast selection of these in all sorts of shapes and sizes. And okay.
I'll turn me.
Well, this is going to be very interesting because we're arguing about the packing already. This could be a complete disaster. Okay, so we have just returned from Bunnings and we've made a purchase. And we have purchased some boxes. I'm making some heat reflective blackout things for the windows now. I've got some over there done. So that's the inside, and then it's just sort of reflective on the outside. So make some more. This is just a template to make some more for the side windows. Okay, we've just had a bit of a disaster. This is actually our sort of second morning, and we've just had the GoPro has just thrown a wobbler and thrown an SD card error, and effectively has lost the footage that we've taken so far. So yesterday we left home, did a little bit of filming on the way, arrived at this which is our first campsite, and we had our first evening where we cooked a meal and sat around and spent the evening in the van. Unfortunately, we got up this morning, had a bit of breakfast, went for a little walk, took the GoPro, and it's just screwed up. I don't know why. It just did an SD card error. I've just tried 3 different ways of getting the data off the SD card, none of which have worked. So basically the filming that we did up to date has gone. So that's a shame. I suppose shit happens. So anyway, we are in a place called Lake Navarina or something like that. I think it's between Waroona and Donnybrook. Not Donnybrook, somewhere else beginning with D, can't remember, near Waroona anyway. But I'll just flip you around and show you where we've been. So this is essentially our first camp. Last night was a bit traumatic in a sense. I mean, we're all packed up and ready to go now, so I'll have to show you how we're set up in the next video. But it's small. What can I say? There's no room in the van. It was pretty hard. We made a few mistakes. We let it go dark before we sort of prepared ourselves for got ready for bed and got the bed set up and such like, and then stupidly realised that of course, you know, there's mozzies and flies, you don't want them in the van. But by then, trying to keep the doors shut and trying to set the bed up and, you know, get your stuff ready was a bit of a nightmare. So anyway, we learned a lot last night. We did unfortunately have a bit of it on film, and it would have been quite entertaining, but unfortunately that has gone. So we're going to move on. We're going to head over to Donnybrook, which is about an hour and a half away. We've seen a site over there that we quite like the look of, so if we can get in, that would be good. But just a shame to lose that footage. I can't understand how, you know, basically GoPro have been making their product for donkey's years. We've got the best camera you can buy with the best SD card in, and it just threw a wobbler, and apparently they do it quite a bit, which is frustrating, but what do you do? Anyway, let's move on. Just by way of a bit of a recap, being as we lost that footage, this was the place that we stayed first night, Lake Navarino holiday park, which was okay. It was nice, it was alright. Just had a kangaroo bounce across the road in front of us, just the one. So this is the town of, what was it, Brunswick, I think?
Yeah.
Just hit a bit of traffic.
Oh, it was an oversized
vehicle.
vehicle.
Massive oversized thing coming the other way, slowed everybody down. Got the cows on the left there.
They're all playing out cowboy there on the right. Orchards as we're going in.
So this is Donnybrook, and it's quite a nice little stop off on the way further south. Often call here. It's Nice little town. We've decided to have a bit of a ride through the Ferguson Valley, and unfortunately it started raining. So I don't know if you can make that out, but oh, we have rain. It's a pity it's not a nicer, sunnier day. This valley that we're driving through now is really quite nice. We seem to have stumbled on Gnomesville. Angie quite possibly knows quite a few of these. She's pretty close to being a gnome.
Oh, it's just insane.
Jesus, thousands of them. He's a real life living gnome. Just goes on and on and on and on. Bit weird, eh? I'm taking this gnome home.
Nice.
Oh. Okay, so this is our camp for tonight. This is the transit park at Donnybrook, which has these. It's quite a nice little spot actually. It has these concrete little hard stand-ins for your caravan slash whatever, electric hookups. It's got a spotlessly clean barbecue there, little table, sinks, and then you get your own, what I can only describe as, you got your own little kind of ensuite, I suppose. I mean, basic, but a little shower, sink, loo, basic but clean. And okay, the only slightly unfortunate thing, as you can probably hear, is it's pissing down, which is typical. 300 days of sunshine per year in Western Australia, unless we go anywhere. That's the 60 days when it rains. 65. Absolutely, what? 64. Typical. Well, we just woke up on our second morning and we've decided that this is not going to happen again in the van. It's too bloody small. That's how we've been squashed in there last night, and it's just it's frustrating because it's actually quite comfy once you lay down, but getting in, getting undressed, getting up so you can have a wee, putting your pants on, taking your pants off, it's a nightmare, isn't it? And you can't sit up in bed.
Just a bit old and creaky.
So I think we're just a bit old and creaky. But it's a shame because it nearly works very well. The bed aspect of it is actually pretty good. It is pretty comfy, but there's just not enough room around it. It was raining last night as we were getting ready for bed, and having dinner, yeah. So there's just nowhere to sit. You know, it's if you're in like a small motorhome, that would be fine. It would be great, but there's just not enough room. So it was an experience. We tried it. We'll go back and stick some of this stuff we bought on Gumtree. And tonight we're going to go in a motel somewhere. We'll carry on for another day, 2-3 days, whatever. We'll have a little bit more of a break, I think, but we'll go in a motel or a B&B or something. Now we're going to try and make a coffee. Warm some milk in a pan. So we have coffee. Coffee and biscuits for breakfast.
Oh, we've got cereals in a bit.
We've got cereals in a bit, yeah.
Trying to get me eating, aren't you?
Living the dream.
It's lovely.
Looks like a nice day. So we've had a slight change of plan, another one. We've just left Donnybrook. It's 20 to 9 in the morning, and we've decided to basically head down to Denmark today, which is very nice. We've been there a couple of times before. We know where there's a nice motel. Hopefully we can get in. It's about 3.5 hour trip, so we're going to stop off in Bridgetown for a bit of breakfast. So we're on our way to Bridgetown now, and on to Denmark. There is a little bit of road for you. Weather's looking a bit ropey, isn't it?
17 degrees.
We are now just coming into Bridgetown. Brekkie time. There is quite a nice B&B in Bridgetown that we've stayed at a few times, but we want to get a bit further south today, so we're not going to stay at that particular one this time. Just a breakfast stop. Excuse me.
Giant pig.
Oh yeah, there's a giant pig there. Don't know if the camera caught that. Was it quick enough?
Statues.
Statues of some sort, something or other there. These little towns all seem to try and do something to just make them a bit different and attractive. Because they're sort of transit towns, they're all on the main road that's going from A to B, and you're just driving through them. I suppose they're basically trying to just attract you and make you think, oh, this is nice, let's stop here, go and have a coffee or something. So they do tend to make them quite pretty.
That's kind of Delays. That was a good
Oh yeah, that was a really
restaurant,
good cafe there, yeah. Right, let's find somewhere to get something to eat. Well, it's gone.
What's gone?
That was absolutely average. So we are just arriving in Mount Barker, which we haven't been to for quite a few years, and I seem to remember it being quite a nice little town, if it's the one I'm thinking of. So we'll have find a little cafe and have a coffee.
Grocery store.
Yes, we went in that cafe there and we parked.
We did.
Went in that cafe on the corner.
And that's the high street.
And
down there, is it?
we parked over here on the pavement over here, I think, or over here somewhere. That was when we was on the Harley. This is our first trip down south. Okay, so apple and blueberry muffin gone. On our way to Denmark now. About 40 minutes. See if we can find somewhere to sleep.
In a proper bed.